Hi and welcome to Degen BJJ with me, Irish Mike, and my co-host
Ken.
How are you getting on, Ken?
I'm kind of alright, mate. How are you?
A lot better. It's been 4 weeks. Maybe it's probably going to be 5 weeks by the time it comes out. So the listeners were probably thinking we were gone AWOL, and you actually messaged me the other day and goes, "Are we still doing these or what's happening?"
Yeah, it's like we're still doing this. We're still pretending this is a thing.
So,
Yeah, let's do. I think it's just at the point where we have exhausted the nonsense that we can speak every week or 2 weeks. Was it every week to start with?
we were doing it every week.
Yeah, so we just got to a point where it was going to be dropping in quality, and the regular listeners will know we didn't have that far to drop. So yeah, we just decided.
The audio improved and the content got worse.
Decided to do them occasionally when we got guests on or something specific, like an away day that we've done, or we want to review, or just someone that wants to come on from it for a chat. So yeah, here we are. We've got an interview with Jimmy Wheeler coming up, but before we get into that, let's have a little catch up with you and me. You're back at work, so you're professional.
My first day today finished.
As we're
completed.
recording, yeah. So by the time this airs, he could be back at the morning sessions if it don't go too well. But
I could be sacked in the morning.
So he could be back to pro life. So yeah, what are your takeaways from your time as a professional jiu-jitsu athlete, Michael?
It's great fun, but spending fucking $8,000 of your savings over fucking 4 months. Because I texted you, I was like, I've been out of work 4 months, and I thought it was 3. Everybody's going to get a kick out of me saying 3, so I'll say it once more: 3, 33 and a third. No, fuck off, leave me alone. But yeah, it was good, and do you know what? People tell you your jiu-jitsu is getting better, and it's just like, I think when you get to advanced level, whereas when
is that what you consider yourself now?
No, but like when you get to, and it's called an advanced class, isn't it? So you have your fundamentals where you become a white belt, and then like you start killing white belts. Then like as you were like 3-4 stripe white belt, and like you start doing jiu-jitsu, and you actually I know what I'm doing kind of thing, and you feel great, and then you become a blue belt, and it starts all over again, except it's a longer fucking period of like a white belt is what, depending on how often you train, it's 1 to 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So like I got my blue belt after a year, I think, and like I was doing about 8 classes a week, so like it was a lot of work really done. But that's the laptop for anybody that's wondering. I think we can actually plug that out, can't we? We don't need it. Yeah, so as it would never be an episode if there wasn't something to fucking. And like we will break the fourth wall and include everybody in on the joke.
The funny thing is that was completely avoidable. The only reason that they did that was because we've left it plugged in after doing the interview on Skype.
But yeah, so basically you've got like blue, purple, brown, and I suppose maybe by the time you get purple or brown you're good, but you're still going to be getting beaten the fuck up by the people above you, like. So it basically just never ends. So that any white belts listening, that great feeling you feel as a 4 stripe white belt where you're actually starting to kill other white belts, you're going to lose that, like. And tapping higher belts, yeah, you get that once in a while, as a white belt, blue belt, whatever. Or maybe you tap a purple belt a few times or whatever way it works. But yeah, you're generally just getting smashed. And so I just don't really care anymore. And when you, like, sometimes you're like, I didn't get subbed today, which is what happens when you're a white belt going against blue belt sometimes, when you're starting to know stuff, you're like, well, I can defend enough that I'm actually not getting tapped. And that's basically all blue belt is. Like, shout out to the few boys that just constantly tap me, like, and I've never, like, well, I've never tapped you either, like, so it's just like, someone actually asked that question. He says, I think it was Will actually from Impact. He's like, how do we get on against each other? And I was like, I've never tapped him, and when I tap him, I'm gonna never roll with him again. I think
it's coming.
I think it's like 399
after the last little run of injuries. I think you've just been putting in so much time, mate. I imagine, like,
yeah. I mean,
when I come back, I won't be mat fit. I won't, like, we've had a few flow rolls and stuff, like, since I've been trying to come back, like.
Our flow rolls are definitely never ending to judge anything up.
Yeah,
we were doing fucking twirling, spinning kicks there one morning.
Doing the Matrix. I know Kung Fu. But yeah, I mean, like, you know what it's like when you come back. Like when you were to have a bit of time off because of work, it's like those first few months when you come back, like your timing's off. You know, you can see
Yeah.
things like from positions, but you can't do them because your body just doesn't
allow
get there
you
in
to.
time or won't get there in time. And then your mat cardio is fucking shit, even if you've been trying to like do other stuff. And like because of the knee, I haven't even really been able to run. Like so, I imagine, and I'm making my excuses early here.
I'm gonna.
You're gonna get it, but like you know,
I'm gonna
like,
leave you get your good month in. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna not even try. I'm gonna put it on record now. I said it to you the other day, actually, when your knee was feeling good and you came back rolling. I was like, I'm just gonna go 80% with you for now. Like, I mean, I generally go 80% with everyone, but like, you have a tendency to make the roll turn up a bit, like, because, you know, I don't really care about tapping anyone else. I was just going to say it, like, I don't really, obviously some higher belts, if you get to good position, it's the same thing. That's actually how I feel. And like, some people would say, some people would say, you are a higher belt than me, but not according to the Madhouse rankings. We're exactly the same.
we are indeed.
There might be a lot of people that
I'm gonna have to mute you in a sec. You laugh. You're finding yourself so funny.
I've been waiting to make a joke about it for fucking weeks. Sorry, it just all came out. But no, so it's like, you know, my arms are fucked actually, because you actually, one of your things that you often tap me with, like, is armbar. I think I'm very susceptible to that, and my elbows are wrecked from fighting armbars.
Making me sound like a great training partner.
No, because like I fight an armbar, but like you know how I roll, and the positions you put me in, that you can actually always armbar me, and I even know it's coming, and sometimes I think I'm strong enough to get out of it, you know, and it never happens. And basically I've been fighting. It's the whole, like, fighting armbars has wrecked my elbows. And other than that, like, all the training has been great. Like, I've actually started to play guard. I really like De La Hiva and De La Hiva X. It's something I think I might use. But
yeah, actually becoming a guard player, mate.
Do you know what I tried? I went in with so I've been to Taurus a few times over the 4 months I've been off, because Tom Lucas is up there now full time, and he's often shot an invitation, so I go up there quite a bit. Because I'm at house obviously on a Tuesday morning, there's nothing happening, and when you're out of work, I still wake up at 6 o'clock every morning, like I'm going to work, so I just want to get up and go somewhere. So they have a class where you have to get up at 5:30.
It's a 6 a.m, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's one I'd be keen to go to once I'm up and about again.
It's just a bit too early to be doing grappling, but there's Dinny from New Sparta that's there, and he was there at the Thursday class. I was rolling, Andy was there as well, that actually runs the gym and that, and I was rolling with them, and I was just like I like a lat drop. Lat drop looks fantastic, and it's like something, because it's an overhand kind of a thing where you link up. I reckon like it's something I could do, because I use that overhand to set up guillotines. Like you fake an Uchimata and then you hit a guillotine. Like,
No, what, from not the overhook?
Overhook, yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
And I was just asking him, and he showed me, and I was like, I reckon I can do it. So I tried it on Bobby Church House there the other on Tuesday or whatever it was, and I just basically pulled him into my guard straight on top of him. So obviously I have a lot of work to do on it. But so injuries, you were feeling good. You told him you wanted an MRI.
I told him I wanted an MRI, as you do when you've injured some soft tissue. And they were like, yeah, you probably need an MRI, you've got a soft tissue injury. But how about you just go to physio? Well, they did a examination, like a physical one, where they do like to test your ligaments, and said, they didn't think anything major was wrong. And then the physio did another one after about 6 weeks of physio, and was like, actually, you've got way more movement in your leg than you did when you first came in. So they were not sure whether, because I was injured, there was a load of swelling or something that was.
Oh, okay.
So my leg, but they're like, that needs an MRI, because you're gonna keep re-injuring your knee, because it's gonna keep moving around. So stupidly, obviously, I've tried to return to jiu-jitsu every time my knee feels remotely suitable, and
you're on the BP 157 tablets.
Yeah, on several people's recommendation, I've been trying those out, and I'm not going to lie, like anyone that's listened to this for a little while know that I've got a chronic shoulder. Well, I'm anti-juice, but I've got a chronic shoulder injury, and like even though those tablets maybe haven't had the desired impact on the knee, because if my ligaments fucked, they're good for helping healing. They're not going to like be miracle cures to they're not going to be miracle cures to shit. But
bit of ASMR there.
But my shoulder feels a lot looser, and it's definitely helped the knee. Like, you know, there was the first 3-4 weeks afterwards, I could barely walk around on it. Now, like, I'm fine up and about on it. Like, I'm back at jiu-jitsu every morning drilling.
Yeah.
But I've just learned that, like, I cannot roll, and that's partly me as well. Like,
you've got that dog in you.
I'm just a fucking idiot. Would probably be a better description.
I mean, who isn't that does jiu-jitsu?
It's like, you know, I will start out, and my first round might be like with you, and you know that I'm injured, and we're going to go 50%, not throw any subs up. If we do put a sub, let the person work out of it, and then I might roll with someone else, and then
I actually felt bad just to cut across you the last time we rolled because like obviously I knew your knee is bad, but like I never play guard, and you always play guard, and it's like I have to touch your knees, and then I'd be wondering, am I putting too much pressure? Do you know what I mean? Even though, like, as you say, like, I'm not going that full roll because I know your thing, but like it's in the back of my mind, like,
the thing that's really bad for it actually is kneeling. So like any like,
oh man, that's what I had.
So all I can really do now when I am
someone puts you in gets in headquarters, which is like the worst thing ever, isn't it?
Yeah. So for me, it's like even like being on my knees in side control is a no-go. Being in mount with anything where there's pressure on, like, you know, where you sit on your knees, like when you stretch off, completely no. It feels like my whole knee's going to pop out. So what was I going to say? Like if being a fucking idiot. Yeah, if I just roll very gently and, like, you know, focus on movement stuff, that'd be fine. But then, you know, after a couple of rounds, you see someone that you don't know very well, and then they're without a partner, and you're like, oh, I don't
you just turn it up because
I don't want them to sit out, and then it turns into, like, you know, a role where they either go harder than you expected, so you have to kind of meet that level, or you just have to end up letting yourself get smashed, and that can be bad for the knee as well. So it's like until I know what's going on with it completely, I can't roll. I can't be trusted to do that. So I'm unfortunately, a little bit frustrated, mate. But it's nice to be.
At least when you get an MRI this time round, you'll know exactly what's what.
Yeah, so that's
another pain
in the pipeline at the moment. I've got an appointment for it tomorrow, so I should get a date for the MRI tomorrow. But
mine was 2 weeks anyway.
Yeah, so it is what it is, mate. But it's good to be, you know, like, able to, you know, do this, talk about jiu-jitsu. The fact I can still go down in the mornings and do the drilling, you know, the first few months I couldn't even do that, and that was. Yeah. You know, I told you I was doing my Sweden. It almost makes you resent jiu-jitsu a little bit. Yeah, I think if you have to go down, because this is what I said to you, like when you said, I said, if you're at a place where you can go down and just do the technique, because I said you'd go down and just do the technique, and you're like, my knee's so fucked. When I got up out of bed this morning, I couldn't even fucking get out of bed properly, like. Mm-hmm. I was like, all right. And that's when you shouldn't go to jiu-jitsu, because, like, we're not similar, but we are similar, like, in certain things, that the way we feel about things. And, like, sitting at the side of the mat is not something I can do. If I can get involved in technique and watch people spar, it's like, well, you only lose 15 minutes at the end of a morning class, isn't it? Or 18 minutes maybe if it's rosary or something like that. Like, it's never... So the majority of the time you've actually spent doing something. But, like, if you just sit mat side, man, you might as well be in bed at that time of the morning, you know. But I might as well watch instructionals at home. You'd like,
if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, which I'm not, but like, or watch tape, you know, watch old matches at home, like, which you're probably not into either, because you just don't actually like jiu-jitsu. You like doing jiu-jitsu.
I'm getting more into watching more local stuff, which is funny.
Yeah, like, that's kind of cool though.
Like, I've no interest in watching Gordon Ryan fight.
No.
Off on a tangent. I went on. Someone was on about Reddit, and it's on about that HBU coaching fella was fighting Gordon, obviously. And he lost.
Josh Saunders, yeah.
And obviously he lost. Like, I think he got his black belt, so congratulations to him. But he was like,
he did actually. Yeah.
He was white to brown in 18 months or something, was it?
A couple of years, sort of thing. I don't know, but it was around. Yeah, like, it's part of his brand, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, it's a bit bullshit, isn't it? What's your opinion on it?
I'm not going to shit on him.
No, but, like, I'm saying,
you're on your own here, Mike.
Yeah, so
he's a big strong lad. I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, but like if you ever go in the comments, people are hating on him, and I'm not, like, necessarily hating on him. I just don't understand. I was actually having this conversation with someone else, and Adam was actually squished. That's been on the podcast. Check out the Mighty Madhouse and check out his own episode. But I was saying, like, do you think jiu-jitsu is getting watered down from where it was? Do you know, like, back in. Like, just go back 10 years. And he was like, it's not really, because he said, if you saw us as blue belts, you know, and what we knew, like we were blue belts and we were the highest level because Dominic was teaching them. But now the blue belts that are around now would fuck them up because of more of the teaching.
I've got an interesting. I think that's a really interesting point, and I think the idea of that is like when a sport grows, you're going to see an increase at both ends of the spectrum, right? So
you're going to see the best end.
So you're going to see people get better at the very good end, and because it's more popular, people that have got no business doing that sport are also going to be like, you know what, I want to try and do this. So you're going to see like more general population means you're going to get growth at both ends. So you're going to see like because of that, because the population's bigger, you're going to see more people from across the entire sample just because there's more of them. So like I get it. It's kind of the illusion. Like so by definition, it will be getting watered down just because more people will be doing it.
But
that doesn't mean that the good people will be really fucking good. Yeah.
That's actually a really good point because I never really thought about it getting better at the other end. I just think about it getting watered down. But it's just when you hear that kind of thing, but you don't know how much he's training, and obviously his coach is like top coach, and he goes to ADCC trials or whatever and does well at that level. But is it a case of it has jiu-jitsu? I don't know about gi, right? Because I don't really know about any of it. But like you obviously watch bits. Yeah, no, it's not fair for me to comment like because I don't really follow any of it. Like
I don't really understand jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, well, if you watch me roll, I can't tap you. Of course, I don't understand jiu-jitsu. But what I'm saying is, are people just getting good at like 10 things, to where like 10 of their things which they can implement their game? Like, do you know the way we say you have a pat? Where you can go here, here, here. You get to this position. There's 4 things that can happen from here. If they defend this way, there's 2 things that can happen from here. And obviously it grows. Don't need to keep going on about it. But is it just that they're good at these 10 things? Like they're world class at these 10 things, and then they can't do anything else? Well, not that they can't, but the level of that would be falling off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good enough to say, but I think like the really good guys are.
Oh, it's just your opinion, like.
I think like there's. You've got to be excellent in a few places and good everywhere. Yeah. But like what really makes people excel or like really stand out for me is people that are really good at creating like, well, I call it funnels. Like, if someone who can get to their game from almost any position or can like force the opponent into their game from anywhere, like, they have like a very long sequence or like a number of steps that always gets them back into that position where they can set up their favourite sweep, which leads to their favourite pass, which leads to their favourite submission.
Okay, that's
and it's
fair.
I think...
it's just, because you say like black belt takes 10 years and like obviously BJ Penn, like everybody uses him as the example of getting it in 4, is that correct?
I think so. Again, I'm not big on the
just say it's 4
scales,
and we might be wrong, but I'm just saying, and now it's a case of people are getting their black belt in 3 years. And it's just like, it just seems, I don't know, like, because look, I'm just some fucking dickhead who likes to drink and fucking go and fucking roll in the mats with his friends and try and kill him, like, do you know, but I
think there's 2 ways you can look at it as well. It's like, you'll get people that are a technical black belt in the sense that they've got knowledge of enough techniques to a decent proficient level that they can all probably instruct them and, they're technically very, very good. But if you put them with a competition level blue belt, like from like AOJ or Atos, somewhere like that, a top comp school, they're going to get fucking destroyed, for someone who's like done jiu-jitsu for maybe 20, 30 years, like who is a black belt in technique and has a knowledge that probably exceeds this blue belt, but this blue belt is so good XP, at his specific game and so athletic and his ability to implement his game, he destroys him. And it's the same, I guess, like, so you can judge someone as a black belt on that, or you can judge them on the fact that they are, like Josh Saunders, for example, who is beating black belts at ADCC trials
as a brown belt
and qualifying. Like he's won, I think he won it last year. He's won 2 ADCC trials. Like, I mean, like. But
he's getting the trials, but he's not. Has he not won? Has he ever won like the actual ADCC itself?
I mean, that's like.
Or has it? Sorry, that's probably a bad question.
No, because that's
has he done well in the matchups then, or was it out in the first round?
I mean, getting through trials is such a big achievement, in my opinion, that I wouldn't...
Oh no, I'm not shitting on him. I'm only asking, like, was it...
I believe last year he qualified, he got injured and actually couldn't compete in the finals, which is why Owen Livesey got invited, maybe.
Oh, right.
But again, I'm not an encyclopedia, so I could have merged 2 stories.
I should have probably told you I was going to talk about this before.
I've done a little bit of research, but no, it's an interesting talking point.
I also can prove my own thing wrong, because Paul Olima got his purple belt after 2 years, and he won IBJJF at blue belt. Like he
London, yeah.
No,
the London Open.
I think so, yeah. And he won it at white belt as well.
Yeah, that would
so
make sense.
like, you know, and I mean, people come all over to do that, don't they?
He's the sort of fellow with the money to compete in those IBJJF events.
He's supposed to train like fuck as well, and I think he's focusing heavy on judo now.
Really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
He said that. Yeah.
He's like trying to do the whole martial arts thing.
Also, I got another thing, just because I have so much stuff to recap. So we'll do CGI in a while, but Nicholas Marigali, the Paul Walker effect.
How are you going all the way back to that?
The way your eyes just moved.
No, it's just because we haven't recorded in ages. I guess you've just been making notes and you're on a...
No, I'll be honest, like most of these notes were made and I was fucking pissed out of my brain, so it's all around from the same week. And then I just added things on probably last week that I thought we were going to record. But it's just mad, isn't it?
I mean, it's hilarious, and it's just Craig Jones's brilliant shot, because it's something no one would have really had drawn any attention to if it wasn't for Craig being a troll. And I think that's kind of what makes the CJI thing so entertaining, is just his ability to be hilarious again, even if like some of the stuff is a little bit like off the mark and maybe not completely funny, but like just consistent content that is like drawing eyes to the event. And
because like when I found out Paul Walker was like at that kind of crack, like it just ruined my
I still didn't know. It was you that mentioned that to me.
It ruined it for me, like, you know. So don't Google that, people. If you like Fast and the Furious and all these other films, just don't Google what age was Paul Walker's girlfriend. It's just gonna ruin your life. But moving swiftly along.
Jesus, mate, you're burning the village down and it's fine.
Who cares? So letting people work, right? This is another conversation I had with someone. So again, I seem to be talking squish all the time. Don't know why, but I was like, I said, what's your opinion on letting people work? You know, and he said, like, all the people that I know that are absolute fucking beasts don't let you work. Like, you know, like, sorry, I'm not saying that right. They don't give up positions. So like, if you get something, you're going to get there. Or if they don't give you something. And he's like, Dom smashes the fuck out of me. He says, I've never like got anything off Dom that I didn't deserve, or, you know, you're not let that. And it's like, because I was just saying, like, I let people get to my back sometimes. Like, you know, a white belt, like, you're like, oh look, I'll just let him get to my back. I want to work on my back stuff. But he was kind of saying, well, you're leaving the person get there. They're not actually winning it. And I mean, like, do you know when you get so higher, then it's like, well, I don't think he'd get there if I didn't want him to.
This is like an old discussion in jiu-jitsu, and I think it's always going to be two schools of thought. I think the like never give up anything viewpoint is absolutely backwards and like not good for your own development, because like, let's say I want to work on back escapes. Let's say back escapes specifically because it's a good example, right?
Yeah, but I'm not saying start from like, if you want to work on something, you could do position. I'm saying given something.
But let's say I'm in a gym where we don't ever do positional, right? Let's say I just train morning classes, right? And all I have is the technique and then the rolling afterwards, right? And I want to work on an escape or work on something specific from a position I'm not very good in. If like I only get to that position when someone's better than me and gets there, I'm not going to get a chance to work on the thing I'm not very good at, because I'm already in a disadvantaged position, because I'm in a position I'm not comfortable with someone who's already got a skill advantage.
Yeah. So
chances are I'm not going to get to... But if I want to work on that thing, I've got to work on it with someone who I have a skill advantage on. So the only way to do that is by letting someone who you have a skill advantage on get to a position where you're not comfortable, so you can work on it. And again, like, yeah, sure, we can, like, I'm talking about a very specific closed set of inputs here where you only have like this one specific class where apparently you never do positional and you never do anything other than rolling, like, right? The smart thing to do would be to do more positional rounds, and I think that kind of, you know, the more injured I get and the more like people I speak to, I do think that that maybe is where the real magic is like putting yourself in shit positions again and again, or positions, not shit positions, sorry, positions that
You're
you're
uncomfortable in.
not used to, and positions where you're not super proficient, you can't play your A game. And I think that
In or out of close guard for me.
and I think that plays into what I was saying earlier with the, you know, being very good at creating ways to get back to your A game. So if you're constantly putting you in these spots where you're like, you know, guards you don't normally play, or like, you know, weird positions like just off of a scramble.
Yeah, because like often you like roll with like black belts, like, and like they could hit you with this, you know, like they'll grab the guillotine, they don't finish it, they just move to the next thing. So in other words, like, I had you, but I'm not going to stop the roll, and they keep going, like, you know, like that happens a lot, like with higher belts, that like, I could have caught you here, and like you mightn't even realise it until, you know, and it's just to keep the roll going, rather than just killing the round and starting again, you know, and then it works for them as if, well, I didn't get it, so now I've moved on to something else. Do you know, like that's another way of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like you treat it like, rather than just looking to like,
it's like a catch and release on a sub kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like that, and you can do that with like, you know, with like a set, say you want to work on a certain sweep, and it's like, all I'm going to do this round is find ways to hit that sweep, and it's like you, in your head you treat that like a tap, like so. If you hit them with that sweep, you go back to like the next position and then work your way back to that same position that you're in to hit it again. You don't always have to just smash people and tap them as many times as in a round as possible.
I actually had a round. The reason that came up in my mind was
it's an interesting one, and I think, like, you know, I'm always speaking from a place of ignorance.
I know, like you were saying, it's something that's kind of hashed out and asked a lot. Like, but the reason was we were rolling during the week. Well, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and there was 2 white belts there, and I was like, look, I want to have a handy round, like, and the guy isn't a slouch, like, you know, but like I hit sweeps I never hit, and like I was hitting things, and I was like, holy fuck, I can do jiu-jitsu, like, and then by the end of the round, like, I tapped him like 3 or 4 times, like, and I was just like, I felt a bit bad. Because I don't usually hammer, you know. Usually I'll let you work, and if you put your, like, if someone leans in with their head to me, I'll just guillotine them. I'm like, don't do that, like, you know.
Educational guillotine.
Yeah, but you know what? Another thing, I'm not hitting them lately, but that's another fucking tangent. But no, so like at the end of the round, I felt bad because I've rolled with this guy multiple times, and like I've never like gone, and like I was going like 80, yeah, which is what I normally like to try and set against people who I find like if I'm going with you or any lads, they're like it's 80 and it might go to 90, do you know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
Like throughout the roll or depending.
Oh, you mean like percent?
Yeah.
Like effort. Yeah.
And like I was like,
sorry, I thought you were talking about miles an hour for a second. I have never seen you move that quick, Michael.
No. Fucking 20 and a 15, but no, it was just, I felt bad afterwards, but like, you know, I was just sitting above afterwards, like I just like subbed that lad 5 times, like, and I didn't feel good about it, do you know, that kind of way, and I was like, are you supposed to but I felt great that it actually felt like for the first time in a long time I can actually do jiu-jitsu. I swept this fella. I hit a guillotine. I hit a darce. I hit a, you know, arm triangle. I hit all the things I wanted to hit, but with someone that doesn't know the defense.
You're a sadistic man, Mike.
Well, it's that. That was killing me. You cunt.
You're a sadistic man.
But I'm just saying, I didn't feel good about it, and that's why the question came up. Because
you're grinning ear to ear. You sound like you had a pretty good time.
No, when I look back at it, I'm saying it was fantastic. But like, I don't feel good fucking people up because you don't break your teammates, do you? You don't break your ties.
No.
But like, and then like, I'd be thinking, like, maybe I could have let him work in positions instead of just, you know, like Lucas does to me, where he hits an arm bar but he doesn't pull it. Maybe I could have just got the darts knowing I was going to lock it up and not actually put it on, and then like went, oh, that didn't work, let's transition to here, you know. And that's what went through my mind, kind of thinking about it more so than you know, let's kill the white belt. Like, it was like, because I felt bad like afterwards, and then it was like, but maybe that improved my jiu-jitsu some bit.
Definitely. It's good for the ego, eh?
Yeah, oh, fucking...
If nothing else.
Like, I walked out that day and I was delighted, but in the back of my mind it was going, you're some cunt. You know?
This is the 6th time he's told me about this.
But, anything you wanted to cover?
I reckon we tee up that interview with Jimmy Wheels, and we do another one sooner, so we don't have as much stuff to get through, and we actually to start coming back to the podcast at least.
Yeah, we'll apologise.
Semi-frequently.
Might try and cover some more impact invitational stuff.
Yeah, we'd like to get a few of the people that are competing on it. So I know a few of you do now, because a few of you have actually messaged and referenced the podcast. So if you listen and you're competing on anything local and you're interested in having a quick chat with us, talking some shit, bigging yourself up, give us a shout. We'll have you on. We're not picky.
Yeah, we have a.
If you're willing to associate yourselves with our brand, we'll have you.
We have a list as long as our arm of people we're actually supposed to have on, but the whole Skype thing is a bit of a nightmare. That's not going to say that we don't want to have people on Skype, but Impact, we were supposed to go down, but you've just been injured the few times that we were supposed to go down. We were going to record down there, so it's not. We actually wanted to be in the gym and have a roll with Jimmy and then talk after. That would have been the way. And there's like Lee that used trained there that trains at the other gym now, and there's JP that owns the gym. We want to have him on. Sue was another one. There's the guy in High Wycombe that has his gym. He wants to come on. There's like a load of people we have lined up. There's want to get someone from Enyo on as well. We've spoke to Josie. She was on about coming on. To give a female perspective. We have a load of people, but we just it's very hard to do when where we're located and what's going on with our lives right now. So all those people that, if I know some of you have fucking probably stopped listening, but if you are listening, we haven't forgotten about you.
Let's start getting those teed up, even if it means a few more road trips, and I just sit mat side for a class and don't actually roll at all. But it's worth it. It's worth it to get the conversations, because I've enjoyed today's. Speaking of which,
you can do that. I'm not doing it.
Speaking of which, is Jimmy Wheeler. So with us today, we've got BJJ purple belt, grappling coach at Impact MMA, seems to be up and down the country competing every weekend. Jimmy Wheeler, thanks for joining us, pal.
How are you getting on, Jimmy?
No worries, boys. How are we doing?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Appreciate you putting up with our technical nightmares at the start there, mate, but we got there in the end, didn't we? We're having a conversation. So, usually when we have people on, we like to start at the beginning a little bit if we can. So, really, what got you into jiu-jitsu? Did you have any martial arts experience before? And let the people know a little bit about you.
No, not really, to be honest. Kind of just liked watching the UFC and stuff, and I thought, might give this shit a go. And my mates were like, no, you can do that shit. So obviously I'm stubborn as fuck. So because they told me I couldn't do it, I had to come and give it a go. Turned out I was actually pretty decent, and stuck with it. And here we are, I guess.
And what was Impact the first gym you trained in, or was it Southern Quarter, or is that because that's where you train now, isn't it, the Gi?
Impact was the first one, yeah. I think SQ was around back then. I've been at Impact around 8 years now, or something like that. So.
Jesus,
how old were you when you made that decision out of stubbornness to jump into jiu-jitsu?
Maybe, I don't know, around 18, 19, something like that, I think. Yeah, it's a little while back.
Yeah. So what's that, like 7-8 years you've been training now?
Yeah, around about that, mate.
Oh, fair play.
Jeez, that's a good time, yeah. And you're so prolific now with the competition and stuff. Was that something you've always done? Have you always competed like a lot, even as white belt and stuff, or is that something that's just come along lately?
I mean, for the first couple of years, I was more just sort of, a bit of a fat fucker when I started. I was like 130 kilos or something, so I wasn't like competing or anything just then. It was more of a get in shape kind of thing. And
I didn't think that worked.
Got invited to do a quintet style thing one day with some of the other white belts in the gym, so I thought I'd give it a go. Why not? I'm training most of the time, so. And that sort of, I got absolutely smashed, to be honest. Got absolutely terrorised, wrist locked in my first ever match. And so obviously I wanted to come back and do better. And that's kind of where it started, really. The obsession started. Trying up to loads of the comps.
You're still going strong. I remember the first time I met you, like I always tell the story, but I knew Dean obviously from the weightlifting scene, and he said, just come along and meet the lads. And obviously he coached me in the match, and I can remember, we can call him out now because it's so long ago, but I remember you were in the competition and they all went off because you weren't supposed to be on. They went off travelling around fucking London for a bit into whatever that shopping centre is up there, Westfield or whatever, and they got lost on the way back, and you were competing and none of your teammates were there to cheer you on.
Were you still there?
Yeah, and he was thick as fuck afterwards. Jimmy was losing the plot.
Yeah, they all just fucked up and missed my whole division.
It was kind of bad form, but from the outside looking in, it was kind of funny, you know. I was like, I wouldn't like to.
Since I organised the whole fucking day out.
But it's not to shit in the lads. They're good people as well.
They're hilarious.
I'd
be fuming. I'd be absolutely. Did you remember how the division went?
I don't think it went too well, actually, if I remember.
It didn't.
It wasn't the best day out.
I think you were a fuming leaving anyway. Either way. But
do you still?
There was some rough boys. It was, it's good fun, though, you know.
Do you still do those like grappling industries and tournament style things? Are you mostly on the invitational like that scene now?
Yeah, I mean, I prefer the invitationals and stuff now. Really, I do the odds.
Is it just because you're a cheap cunt?
What's that?
Is it just because you're cheap? Ken's like, I'd never do.
I'd never. Much, but, no, I do the odds open here and there. You know, like ADTCs and grappling industries and stuff. But yeah, it's expensive, right? Expensive hobby.
Yeah, I mean, but like there was a time there. I remember, like maybe last year or something. Like you were up and down the country. Like you were above Manchester one weekend and in Liverpool the next weekend, and then you could have been somewhere else the next weekend. Like you were just actively in all these invitationals, like every weekend.
Yeah, I get about, mate.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing, mate.
So you're off up to Scotland.
I go the other day, right, to do the Midwest finishes. That was a good experience, but.
So you've got a match coming up in Scotland as well. I think I've only just followed you on Instagram recently, and I saw like you had a ADCC Scotland thing.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Should be a good, tough match. But I have no idea how the fuck I'm going to get there either. But I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to
it. So if anyone's offering a lift to Scotland, on what date?
Do some hitchhiking. Fuck it.
Do they cover your travel or anything, or is it just you turn up for the match and?
Pretty much.
And that's it.
Just gonna make my own way there. Just gonna figure it out somehow. I'm sure it'll work out. It usually does.
So you're not getting paid for any of those invitationals. It's just a case of showing up. Is it?
Paid for some of them, like a couple, but not very often.
You don't have to disclose who or what. It was just a question.
Yeah, as a pub boat, you're lucky if you get money. It's like the moment you're building that reputation, mate, and come in the end.
So when you were at blue belt then, so white belt, you were getting smashed a bit. As you get into blue belt competition, did you find that you were finding your feet a bit better? And
yeah, I mean, I was doing all right. It's more sort of when I hit purple belt, it sort of clicked a lot more really, just out of nowhere. So and did pretty well last year on the comp team, but blue belt was a bit hit and miss, but.
I think that's the way it always goes. Well, you've more hits than me, then I'm kind of missing between the two of us. He gets a lot of the hits, and I'm doing a lot of the missing. But I'm showing up after no preparation, and fucking some days next day after drinking the night before. So, I mean, you know what I mean. You're not going to get much results with that, are you?
Yeah.
Did you make a big change to your lifestyle when you started jiu-jitsu? You say you were a larger fellow when you first got into it. Was it just that you kind of enjoyed the sport and the weight fell off, or did you make a conscious choice to change things like when you started training out of interest?
Yeah, maybe not so much at first and that, sort of just losing weight, getting in shape a little bit, just sort of by training. But then when I started getting into doing the competitions and stuff, obviously sort of stopped drinking and going out partying and doing all that stuff when I started getting into competing really, because I was cutting weight and stuff, and obviously, alcohol is terrible for cutting weight. So
I don't cut weight.
So, what weight do you generally compete at now? Just for the people that don't know you that listen.
Between 80 and 88 usually, so it's quite a little bit of a range. But
still, that's
I prefer being sort of lower down. But
that's some drop from 130 at one stage not too long ago, mate. So.
Yeah, that's impressive. Like that's good shit. Like
that's an advert.
I made 77 at one point. That was I had abs for a week and I thought, fuck this shit, this is way too much effort to maintain.
Respect. But what was I going to say, so how long are you coaching at Impact?
What's that, sorry?
How long are you coaching at Impact?
So it's coming up to 2 years now, so yeah, about.
And is that full-time coaching, or were you coaching a bit on the side beforehand, or?
I was coaching a little bit on the side before that, but not getting paid for it. But just sort of covering classes here and there, or helping out with the juniors. But like doing it now, coming up 2 years properly. So
okay, yeah. And you're happy out, and obviously it afforded you the lifestyle to be able to go away over foreign and train in. You went over to America to the Daisy Fresh guys.
Yeah, Daisy Fresh, that was fucking sick, mate. I can't wait to go back.
How did that come about? Mike was saying that the other day. I had no idea, and like I say, I just saw on your socials the other day that you were over there. How did that come about? How did you stumble into that one?
Well, I basically just thought, fuck me, England's shit, so I need to get out of this country for a bit. And thought, sort of, what better place to go, really? So I messaged the guys on Instagram, and I was just like, mind if I come and stay with you guys for a little bit and get some training in? And they're like, yeah. So went over there for only a month this time, but I'm planning to head back out towards the end of the year, maybe do 2 or 3 months this time. So
do you stay at the gym?
So they've got a fighter house over there now. So there was like, I think 15 of us maybe staying in this one house. It's pretty rough, pretty cramped, but it was, good fun. It kind of adds to the experience a little bit. So
any stories you can tell? We don't edit, so just
off the top of my head, mate, I can't think of anything. But like, yeah, it was,
you don't want to dub anyone in.
So it's fairly like for people, you didn't have a connection or anything before, just off your own back, dropped him a message and was like, can I come over and train? So it's for anyone that's keen, it's fairly easy to hook up.
Yeah, man, it's not that expensive either, really. I think I maybe spent about $1,500 all in for the month. Flights, accommodation, training fees. Did a few trips to Chicago and stuff. So it wasn't that bad.
Because you competed over there as well, right? You were on an invitational over there, or was it
Yeah, we did the Midwest finishes over there, and I did the Naga as well. Fought a tough guy on the Midwest finishes. Unfortunately lost it, but he's a sound lad. He's really tough. He's killing it out there. So.
And how did you find the levels different between, we'll say, British Jiu-Jitsu and American Jiu-Jitsu?
Oh man, like it was a whole different level there, man. Like every single round's just like a competition final. It's but training like 6 hours a day with like some of the best guys around. It's since I've been back to England, I sort of took that style of training they had out there, the way they were training us, and I've been sort of implementing it here. And everyone's level was just sort of shut up in the last couple of months. So it's only a couple of months. So I'm thinking in like a year's time, our guys are going to be killing it on the comp scene, I think.
Yeah, you'd imagine where you'll be now.
What sort of things, like just briefly, like in terms of, did you bring back, and you say like their style of training? Is it just the intensity, or like is there something to do with how they structure their training that you liked?
Yeah, sort of like it's the intensity of it is one, and then there's a lot of more positional work, being in bad positions, and it's like kind of between live and drilling, and you're in a lot of bad positions, and you're constantly getting reps in on that a lot, and then when you go into the technique part, you're problem solving those areas that you were working in the in the kind of warm up, because it's like a warm up, and you're working these positions to get warm, and then you'll go and problem solve it in the actual lesson. And then you'll go and do like an hour of sparring or so after, So it's really good.
So are you saying like it's in like kind of a flow roll that you're solving this, like when you're getting warm, or is it a little bit more intense than that?
It's not like your normal warm up. For example, if I'm going to be working half guard stuff in the class, I'll start them maybe flattened out in half guard, or we do a couple of rounds there, top to bottom, switching partners, and then we'll start maybe half guard with the knee shield in. Work there for a few rounds, and then we'll problem solve why people were struggling.
Okay, yeah.
In the actual lesson in those positions.
Okay, so the lesson becomes more like an open discussion about the position. So people bring specific problems, and you look for solutions, rather than you actually looking at specific, like just teaching a technique and telling them to drill it, or.
Kind of like I have an idea of where I want it to go,
Okay,
yeah. You don't want to be giving away secrets. Yeah. he's keeping his cards close to his chest, this guy.
No, it's interesting, man.
It's hard to explain. Like I'm not the best.
No, that's okay.
I'll have to come for a class, mate, and actually learn firsthand. Probably that would be the best way to do it. So before we get into the Impact Invitational stuff, just last thing: do you ever put the gi? I know most of the lads you train with are strictly no gi guys, right? But do you ever put the gi on still?
I train the gi twice a week, maybe 2 nights a week. I go over to Wiltshire Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Marlborough and train it there. I haven't competed so much in the gi the last year or two, maybe, but I've done it a couple of times, won gold once, and then, did all right a couple other times in grappling industries and stuff. But I only tend to sort of do it if it's the same sort of price when I'm signing up. I won't pay extra to enter a gi division usually. So.
No, of course. But a couple of times a week though, you're still getting your reps, hey? Like that's a.
Yeah. Still, training it, getting it in. Gotta, get that black belt one day, right? So.
yeah. Is it only a price thing that's stopping you doing like the boat, like competing in the competition? Is it only a price thing that's stopping you from doing both, like doing the gi and no gi, like?
I don't particularly enjoy competing in it so much anymore. I mean, okay. I'll do it every now and then, but like I prefer the no gi scene really.
Is that just to keep the skills fresh and just to show that you can go out and still hang like with people on it, or is it just like, is it love of the gi, or is it just is it a skill thing?
No, I mean, just keeping it going, mate. Just keeping learning always, isn't you? You got to keep learning and improving. Even if you don't sort of enjoy competing in it so much, it's still good to do it because it's it can be fun sometimes.
100%.
So, talking about competing no gi, Impact Invitational coming up 31st of August. 30th of August?
31st of August.
31st of August. So tell us a little bit about how that came about to start with, like because you're involved in like the organisation and running of it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm sorting out a lot of the matches and stuff, and sort of Joe's handling a lot of the media and stuff like that. But I just decided that we don't really have a whole lot of shows down here in the south. I mean, we got the Collision one now, but that's fairly new. That came about fairly recently, and we got the Rogers sub-only super fights at Rogers Place. Other than that, there's not really anything in the south. It's mostly all around up north and stuff, Midlands. And I got sick and tired of traveling up north all the time, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to start like one down here pretty much.
I think it's a brilliant idea,
Yeah. So looking to get that going. We wanted to get the City Hall for it, but unfortunately we couldn't get that this time around, so we're going to be running it out of the top floor of the gym this time around, and then hopefully from the next time or the time after that we'll be able to get a proper venue for it. But
is there something you want to roll into a regular thing, build up a reputation, get it at like local venues and keep it as a what's the plan, monthly, or have you got a plan for that?
Probably won't be monthly, it's too much organisation really, but we're going to try to make it like a regular thing, like a few times a year maybe, and just give people the platform and opportunity to come through and showcase their skills, what they're working on. So that's the plan. I
think you're very good, like yourself, because obviously you have the open mats there. I know you do it most Sundays, but like you do there's always, I'd say there's probably always an open door at Impact, but like you do the once a month thing, which we've been down to with like a lot of guys from Mat House, and obviously some of the other boys that train the other gyms, Lucas and stuff, has been down, and you're a great gym to come down to, and I think a lot, like everyone at your gym is like sounder than a level I've seen before. Like you're very welcoming. Like, not to say the other places we haven't been, but like you're over friendly. Like you kind of be wondering, like when people be wondering about cults, like be saying, are they being this nice to get me in the door? Like I mean, it's just like what made you wanted to like start inviting people? I mean, obviously we know because we train, but what was the thought process that went through your head? Say, right, once a month we're going to invite everyone down here. Was it you wanted the reps off other people, or was it like what was it like?
It's obviously not a big fan of gym politics and gyms beefing and all stuff like this. So we just wanted to have an open door, get people in. Everyone should train together, and learn and improve, and that's the best way to do it, right? Cross training's key, pretty much, I think. So we thought, well, we'll just open it up once a month on a Sunday, because we have an open mat every Sunday anyway. But we try to do on the last Sunday of the month, we do a bit of a bigger one and invite people like other gyms down and just get different bodies in for the guys to train with, to learn from and stuff,
Yeah, I think it's a good culture. You're promoting good culture, like, because some gyms like I mean, our gym, if you want to come train in our gym, like, not to be shitting on our own gym, but like you have to pay if you want to come to the open mat,
I don't agree with a fee for an open mat. I understand if someone's giving instruction, because you've got someone that's actually teaching, but for an open mat, it's kind of like the gym's there.
I think that's a big thing that does pull people as well. It's like you're saying about competing stuff, about the money, and like you don't want to, like, people don't want to go to an open mat somewhere and pay if they can go to an open mat where they don't have to pay. and it's like you say, it makes people better. Like we're full on. I mean, obviously we'll go anywhere that have us and is within an hour, you know. And like your place, if you have a pub next door, I'll drive. And I won't be driving home, but like you know what I mean. But it's good crack.
Yeah, no, it's like, and I think more gyms should definitely do that. And obviously, it's given you, you know, a bit of a platform now where you've got people like Mike that you've met that will like put out the word with this invitational, and you know, hopefully it kind of, you know, it'll give you a good return because you know the fact that you've kind of opened up the gym to people, they'll want to give back and should engage with this. So, are you going to be competing, or are you taking more of like a coach matchmaker role in this one?
I will probably be competing on it. Yeah, I did have a good match lined up, but unfortunately, the guy. Well, I say unfortunately for me, not so much for him. But he got offered a match on the Polaris, and he's not allowed to compete within a month of it. So unfortunately had to pull out. So we're going to see if another match comes up, but probably be competing on it. Yeah.
So you are looking for a match. We can get one. How many other matches are you planning to have on it? Are they all going to be 10-minute sub only?
So it's slightly different. The white belts and the blue belts and the juniors are going to be slightly short. Obviously, we want to give everyone a platform to come through, so we're going to have the juniors and the white belts on it as well at the start. They're going to be slightly shorter matches, and then the blue belts are going to be 10 minutes, and then the purple, brown, and black are going to be 10 minutes with 5 minutes overtime if there's no sub.
Nice.
And what way are you doing the overtime? Is the overtime going to be normal, or is it going to be like EBI rules where it starts somewhere else? Or
it was the original plan to do it like an EBI overtime, but then we decided just to do an extra 5-minute round, pretty much. And then,
that's fair.
You're gonna stop and like have a break, or just add it to the clock and just keep it going?
They'll have a minute break in between to go back to the corners and talk with the corners and stuff, and then it's going to be an extra 5 minutes.
Nice. And then what decision?
Cool to go for that. So
I like that. No, it's good. I'm not a huge fan of EBI overtime. I feel it's if you've had a really close even match, it seems like a weird way to end it with like having people set in positions. So I'd rather
starting on your back like it's a bit
rather
weird.
Do it that way. And then it'll be a judge's decision if it's tied still after.
I believe it will be a draw if there's still no sub by the end of that.
No, that's a solid way to do it. To be fair, looking forward to it.
Is there anyone in particular that you'd like to shout out, like that's fighting that other people around the area might know that haven't looked at Instagram? Because obviously we're up a little bit more north than ye, and if there's people that might be interested in people that are competing there, is there anyone? A few of the matches, would you like to shout out some of the people that are competing?
Well, we got a few black belt matches on there. Already we got 3 black belt matches on there, so it should be pretty good. We got a few guys coming down from Brighton and stuff, and London. So, but I won't say any names in particular. But we got some good matches lined up. So.
Yeah, and are you charging admission on the door?
Yeah, so tickets will be £20, and then the athletes obviously get commission on that as well. So yeah.
What? So if you know someone competing, it's best to get tickets through them to.
Yeah, and then they can make a little bit of money off that as well.
Oh, that's good,
the advanced level guys, so the purple to black belt level guys, you get £50 in those matches if you can get a submission finish as well. So.
It's potentially money on the table as well. Yeah. Encourage people to go hunting those subs.
That's good.
I mean, we don't have a lot of money to give away, but like.
I mean, for the first,
we can.
Mate, yeah, for your first. I mean, this is a good.
Most events charge people to compete.
Yeah.
If you're offering anything, you're a step ahead of most of what the country, what's available in the UK at the moment for jiu-jitsu athletes. So it's a fair play to you. You got any other questions, Mark?
Is there anything you want to plug, or is there anything else you want to go on at Jimmy? Or
I just want to say, obviously, thanks to you guys and Digit Tape and Grappler Soap for sponsoring the Invitational as well.
You haven't got the money yet.
Yeah, we're still looking for a couple more sponsors that will be, looking to help out. So it'd be good to get you guys on. If you drop us a message on Instagram or something, that'll be ideal.
Yeah, it's not.
And also, thanks to my sponsors again, Grappler Soap and Stone and Scaffolding for the support.
And have you any matches? Obviously, Ken mentioned that you've ADCC in Scotland coming up. Have you anything else on the cards coming up that you're looking forward to competing in?
Not a whole lot, to be honest, mate. Like I got I got that one coming up. I've got Naga in September. I'm going to do the Naga. Street Beasts, I got a match with George Wolf on there, so that should be a good match. He beat me before in the gi, but this is a no-gi one, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully a bit better. And then probably back out to America. I'm going to look to do the Naga in St. Louis, Missouri out there. So
when is that your plan on going back out?
Around November time, I think the competition is. So it'll be somewhere around then.
So you're missing it's kind of competitor season, October, November around, up here anyway, isn't it? Like it's November is very heavy comp time, I think, in the UK. So you're going to go over there and see what you prove yourself over there. Come back stronger and then kill everyone in January.
To be fair, if he doesn't do the IBJJF and stuff, it's probably not as big a thing for you around that, because that's normally around the time of IBJJF London and stuff like that. So I mean, if you're not competing in the gi or doing those ones where they charge you £100 just to show up for the day, you're probably better off going to the States, mate.
I mean, I do kind of want to do an IBJJF at some point. I've never done one yet, so I'm kind of missing the medal. Want to get one at some point. It looks, they look pretty cool. So, but it costs a lot of money, right?
Yeah, that's it, mate. You got to be going there for the.
We'll have to tell JP to start giving you some extra classes.
The rules are gay as fuck too, so.
Especially for you boys' game as well, like the way that you like to play jiu-jitsu, it's going to take a lot off the table for you. So
don't want to go there and spend like £120 or whatever and then
get DQ'd off the leg
maybe when I
entry.
get to brown belt or something and the rules are a little less gay, I might jump in and give it a go.
That might be the way. So
sorry, just are the matches in the cage at Impact on this Invitational?
What's that? Sorry.
Are they in the cage?
No, so we're actually gonna take the cage away and we're going to have the mats in the centre of the centre of the room with the seating around it and stuff. So
remember to leave a little bit of a seating break. Don't want to. There's so many people crashing into the chairs in the last one. I was just wondering because obviously the cage takes up a lot of space upstairs. It was just something I was wondering.
Yeah. And we got the obviously the brewery next door as well for people can get drinks and that from there. We'll have I think we'll have Salt and Fire in doing food as well next door, street food. So
all right, okay. You've
what's not to love?
Yeah, get yourself down there. What's the date again?
What's that? Sorry,
31st of August.
31st of August. Yeah.
31st of August.
For people that want to follow on socials, it's Jimmy Knows BJJ for you and for the Impact stuff.
Just Impact Invitational, mate.
Perfect. Well, long time in the making, Jimmy. Cheers for coming on, pal. It's been great to have a chat. Looking forward to seeing more of your competition. So catching up at Impact. Yeah, we'll try and get Ken down there at some stage. I don't know. It seems to just be injured every time we seem to decide to go down there. I'm just always injured.
I know the feeling, mate.
All right, safe, Jim. Take care, brother.
Thanks for having us on, mate.
Oh, so that was Jimmy Knows BJJ, if you want to follow him on Instagram, and Impact Invitational, also on Instagram. Impact MMA is the name of the gym, and it was really good to have him on because we've, obviously, as we said, we've been trying to get in touch with him. It just didn't work out with life and stuff. One we wanted to do in the gym, but due to not being able to, it was nice to actually have him on for a chat and good for him to join us on Skype and tolerate our technical incompetency for the first half an hour whilst we were setting up. So thank you, Jim. I really appreciate it, mate. Hopefully you'll be willing to come on again. Yeah, I mean it's something we want to do. Skype is a bit of a nightmare for us to have people on, and it's not really a nightmare, but audio and stuff is a bit different, and it's nice to go down and meet people and actually have a role, and that was always the plan, and then do the podcast afterwards. But if there is anyone that wants to come on, everyone's more than welcome. Yeah, obviously, I know some of the guys that are competing on that listen, and if they want to come on, give us a shout. Speaking of events that are coming up as well, one that I meant to shout out earlier in the show is Grapple Max, which is happening up in Shrewsbury where I used to train. Sean Collins from SPG is on that card, and they've got the Yorkshire Gripper on the main event, and really they've got Cal Pacino on as well. That's at the 37. And that's MIA from Degen BJJ. Mugged us off multiple times, but still a fan. I'm still a fan. I'm still looking forward to that. Yeah, they got people from all over competing. Looks like it'll be a good event. Yeah, 20th of July. So I should be going to that because I'm up in that part of the world then anyway. So I'll hopefully give a little breakdown of that on the next podcast that we record in the next 6 months or so, whenever that might be, Michael. Yeah, so obviously just touching on that, there's a lot of people in the background that we have spoke to previously that we will have on. Look, life's been a little bit hectic with Ken having injuries, me being out of work and stuff like that. We know we haven't been making content as much as we should, but we're going to try and stick to the bi-weekly. Even if we can record a few more, we'll probably just still try and release it bi-weekly. But like we know, like Lee, I know that used to train Impact, he wants to come on, and there's the guy in High Wycombe that has his gym, the black belt. He said he'd come on, and Josie from Enyo, like we said we should have her on. There's many more, but like, look, we're not forgetting about you. It's just we would really like to go to the gym or be somewhere.
They're much better in person, eh?
Yeah.
It's much, as Jimmy knows from suffering through our idiocy or whatever.
And I mean, it's hard to see down the other side of the screen on the phone when you can see us, and it's the contact isn't. There's a little bit of a delay in it, like, or it's not as
the
a genuine flow.
conversation's not as organic, but
so bear with us.
We'll tee up some more Skype ones, and we'll hopefully get out to see some people in person.
Yeah, Limerick Globetrotter, he's coming back on as well soon. We just had a couple of scheduling conflicts there.
Good to have a catch up with him again.
Yeah. So who's the sponsor? Well, get them out there, Ken.
Sponsors. Use code DGen10 at xmarshall.com. DGenPod at flowstate.com for some lovely shorts. They're actually sponsoring Sean Collins at Grapple Max, so we'll be wearing a pair of their lovely shorts during the event. And Salt DGen for 10% off at saltandstorm.co for all your classical art inspired fight wear.
And I have about 5 larges and 4 mediums of the Italia Degen rash guard if anybody wants to buy them. Once they're gone, I'm going to be doing another order. There's about 10 people ordered, so if there's any rash guards you like on the Shopify link, just send a DM over and we'll try and get something working. But
other than that, guys, have a good one. Play it to your nan.